Greetings and welcome to this week's magical message. I pray that you all have had a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. I hope you all got a chance to really celebrate the special women in your life that have helped you to become who it is that you were meant to be. And if you happen to be one of those ladies, if you happen to be, even if you're not, the biological mother, maybe you're the aunt, the godmom, the sister, the lady down the street that looks out for the children, whoever it is, I pray that you all are in a space where you're recognizing how meaningful and impactful you are and how much beauty you really do bring to the world. Without you all, there's a certain amount of life and love and support that just would not be there. So we want to celebrate all mothers in all of the forms that you beautifully come in. Okay, so now let's get moving with this reading. It is very interesting this week. I decided to pull my daughter's flashcards for the overview. I did that a few weeks ago and it turned out pretty good. So I decided I'd do it again. So we're going to start there. We're going to start with the overview. So make sure that you all like and subscribe so that you all can get the notifications every time I post. Now we have the agitator truck, noodles, doctor, flower, potato. Then we have clock, octopus, and umbrella. And then we have nurse. Okay, so with agitator, truck, and noodles, we have restaurant and Ogun. So this week, especially in the beginning of the week, make sure that you're minding your gut health, whether we're talking spiritually, your intuition, how you perceive things, whether we're talking physically, making sure that you're eating the right kinds of foods, making sure that, the beginning of the week may not be the time to try this new restaurant, this new place, try this new particular thing because it may not sit right with your stomach. I'm feeling some people may be on the toilet or just may feel really sick. So just, be mindful of that. But gut health is going to be very important this week. So, you may want to make sure you're incorporating enough fruits and veggies and that kind of thing into your diet this week. Enough fresh things, as many fresh things as possible. Because a lot of times, especially in the American diet, we don't get enough of that. We don't get enough fiber. We don't get enough fresh, raw fruits and vegetables, that kind of thing. And those things are really vital, are really vital to our health. Okay. Now there's also an energy here of, force or really powerful movement. So make sure that you're not trying, to force anything. Make sure that you're not trying to make something be what it's not meant to be. There's a lot of new energies coming in, a lot of new things beginning. And a lot of the old, even if it wasn't necessarily bad, it's just not meant for this new path that you're on. So if you've been trying to do something and it's not working, give yourself some time, relax, breathe, allow for those new things to come in and things will begin to make more sense. Okay. Allow for the agitation that may be there to kind of, die down. And in the meantime, do things that are going to really ground you, allow you to connect with the earth, allow you to connect with nature. And so that when it is time for you to push and move forward powerfully, much like Ogun does and can, you are in a space where you're balanced. You're not moving from a space of lack or just needing to be comforted. You're seeing clearly. I had a dream last night about an eagle and I just saw that eagle's face come back up. So, there is a shift in perspective that could be needed if you are trying to force things, because I feel like when you get the word to move forward, you may be moving powerfully, but you won't have to force it. You won't have to try to make it be something that it's not. Okay. Now we have doctor and we have flower. And this feels like, somebody may be seeking some holistic medicines. You may be taking a different approach from what you may have gotten or been prescribed in your by your doctor, any medication that you may have been prescribed. And it feels like, because it's paired with what's done in the dark, DM, vampire, and drugs. Okay, and DM can be a divine masculine or it can be a distorted masculine figure. This could be the doctor, or maybe you are the divine masculine and you're realizing that something was not right. Maybe something was done in the dark. There was something that wasn't in integrity. Okay. Um, but I also feel like, there is a distorted masculine who may be misusing drugs, right? Maybe some drugs that the doctor had given. Um, Maybe they're trying to get off of them, or maybe they're trying to find something else to kind of substitute that particular thing for. Um, so this could be a situation though where maybe the divine masculine is realizing that the doctors or whoever they're working with is looking to make money. And so what they prescribed is not what it should be. They're just kind of, trying to suck their patients dry, basically. Um, but I also feel like there's something very specific about this holistic medicine. It could even be like Bach flowers. I don't know if you all know what that is, but it's like taking the essence of different flowers for healing purposes. Um, and so that could be the route that you decide to take. This could be something like anxiety or maybe depression. It could even be related to those stomach issues. But I feel like, if you're looking for some kind of alternative, you'll find that. I feel like there may be some shock and awe, though, in terms of uh, what you find out or what you have found out about these particular medications or the directions that the doctors have been wanting to go. It's like you're doing research and you're finding out that, it's nowhere near what you really want to do or what would be healthy for you to do. So I just see you making a different decision. So even if this is a distorted masculine, it's still like they're making a different decision about, this addiction or whatever it is that they're moving with, right? Now we have potato and we have moved on. Potatoes can be very cleansing, very healing. They can soak up I wouldn't say the bacteria. They do soak that up as well, but the impurities. That's what I'm looking for. They remove the impurities, whether it's from your body, like when you're sick, you can half a potato, white potato, and put it on the bottom of your feet with some socks. Next day, it will have pulled out a lot of stuff, and it'll really help that healing process move forward. Okay, so once again, I see somebody is healing and they're moving forward. They are. They're really grounded. So again, somebody has done their research. They are standing firmly on what it is that they know, and they're choosing to heal this way. They're moving on from wherever it was that they were previously. So this could even be, I know we're talking about, doctors and that kind of thing, but this could still be like your life. This could be, emotionally, mentally, how you have kind of processed some things. Maybe something was suggested that you do, or some things were suggested that you do, and you're finding out that those were not the best things for you. And so you're choosing to go a different route. There's been a door that has opened that you choose to walk through, and it helps you to move forward in a way that really truly does heal you, and it removes the impurities that this other thing would have just kind of brushed under the rug. Okay. or created more problems. So now we have clock, octopus, and umbrella, with days and church. Okay, so with clock, I feel like there's an energy of something having been like that time has run out, or it's for a particular time. Umbrella, I feel like, you're covered, you're protected. Even if you see what you have perceived to be a storm, you're covered in that storm. You don't have to worry. Your guides, your guardians, they're standing with you. And then octopus. The first thing I actually thought about when I saw octopus was adaptability, right? So I feel like there may be concern as to how things are moving forward, right? I feel like you feel like you've made a lot of the right decisions. You've moved in ways that you need to, and the best ways that you've known how to. But there could be some concern as to how things adjust, how things move. And so I feel like things are going to naturally mold themselves into the ways that they need to be, so that you can move forward, so that you are covered. So that you can receive whatever assistance may be needed, so that you can receive that protection, right? Or that, because not like you're not protected, but that additional assistance. I'll put it that way. Okay. And, the octopus has the ability to move through things that may seem impossible, right? So you all could be dealing with something, and maybe it's something that's been going on for a while, but you all could be dealing with something that makes you feel like it's impossible. There's no way through. Maybe you have felt like you couldn't see how you make it out of this. And this octopus is here, and it's like, look at what I can do. I have made what may seem to be impossible possible. I took something the size of a hole, the size of a penny, and I've moved my whole huge body through it, right? I stand out in the crowd, and I'm needing to kind of integrate myself some more, or I'm needing to blend in with the crowd, however that looks, right? The octopus has the ability to blend in. They have the ability to camouflage themselves so that they are protected, so that they are covered. And hopefully, this is not speaking to anyone in a situation where they're in danger and they're needing to hide or anything like that. But know that even if it's, that serious, know that you're protected. The covering that you need is there. This could also be just, it could be a situation where maybe, because I think somewhere else in the reading, and we'll get to it soon, but somewhere else in the reading, it talked about, having someone who's spying, looking into you, that kind of thing. And this octopus could be showing you how to move forward, that you can move forward discreetly, even in situations that may feel impossible. Everyone does not have to know what it is that you're doing. You'll be able to accomplish whatever it is that you're doing without having interference, right? Without having external things create blockages, okay? And now we have days in church with that. So this is something that happens within a matter of days, and this could be, I'm doing this reading on Monday. But this feels like this is something that moves pretty quickly. I would say by Wednesday or Thursday, there's an energy that has kind of cleared out, and you're being what feels like covered and carried forward, right? Like you're being protected. And church is like, like-minded collective. So it's people, there's a group of people, an organization that they see you, they recognize you. And so you're also getting this recognition, and maybe this is why, or this is where some of this protection is coming from. But you all will have everything that, is needed and required to get you from point A to point B. So if you were moving through something and you couldn't see how that how that gap was bridged, this is how, right? And it's taking more than just you, not because you're not powerful enough, not because you're not deserving enough, not because you haven't worked hard enough for it to just be from your efforts, but what's being manifested and created for you is for something much greater than what you can even see right now, which is why it's all hands on deck. Okay. Now we have nurse, moving, trap in reverse. I did this for you in reverse. Father, empower, move, and then happy life. Okay. When I just finished, when I read the father card again, I thought about someone's father could have done them dirty. I don't know, but that was just what came up. But we have nurse and we have moving. So there's some healing. There's some attention to detail, but that detail seems to be more so around the healing of the emotions, situations, but a lot around the emotions. And so maybe this moving, maybe it is a shift in perspective, a shift in feeling, but this could also be a move that is very healing, a move that allows for you to take the time that you need to restore, to heal, to bring yourself back into balance. I feel like, it could feel like it's too good to be true. And that could be why there's questions around whether or not it's a trap, whether this is a good decision, whether this is the move that you should make with trap. And I did this for you in reverse, but I feel like this move is going to be really good for you. I feel like there was some kind of father figure who made some kind of move previously. And it could be like recent, but they did something where they may have been trying to get in the way of this. They may have been trying to create a trap or trying to take something away from you. This could be something like get back, or them just being miserable, right? And not wanting to see you in a higher position. And I mean, this father card, it does say father, but this could be something, a male person who is like an authority figure in whatever way, whether we're talking about work, whether we're talking about like family, whether we're talking about, wherever, however this authority figure shows up in your life, it feels like that is the energy that it's coming from. But then we also have happy life. So at the end of the day, you're going to get what it is that you desire. You're good, right? There, you don't have anything that you need to worry about, and it's all working out for you in ways that you could not have even imagined, because again, this is a collective that's bringing this together. So I feel like doors are going to be flying open for you. There are going to be things that begin to happen this week, and you really have no explanation for, except for the fact that you stopped and you waited and you listened. And when the time was right, you moved forward. Right. And I feel like that's what that is. And it may not be easy to see, especially if you are in a space where you're wanting to make a decision or you're wanting to move on something. Sometimes hearing wait and listen and move when the time is right, and you're looking at the clock like, well, it seems like it should be right now. Right. But you're being moved into a better space, a greater space. And so allow for what you cannot see to come to you. Okay. You don't want to cause more chaos and extend what doesn't have to be extended. Alrighty. So that was the overview. Right. We're at 16 minutes already, almost 17 minutes. And that was just the overview. Now we're going to get into the beginning of the week. We have Dancer 8 with escaping stagnation. And then we have Maker 8 emergence. And then the Strength card in reverse. Okay, so with the Dancer 8 and the Maker 8, we have Oshun, and then Blame in reverse with Strength. So I feel like with that Strength and the Blame in reverse, I feel like somebody's being vindicated. I feel like somebody who maybe they were blamed for being lazy, maybe being blamed for not having had done what was needed, this, that, and the third. I feel like, all the work that they've put in is paying off. Like it may not have been clear, or maybe someone was purposely doing these things to try to give the appearance of someone being lazy, wanting to kind of badmouth someone or talk down about someone, maybe blaming them for not having had finished something or just failed at doing something. Okay, but there's vindication. And then we have with Dancer 8 escaping stagnation, and then the emergence card with Maker 8 and Oshun. There is something major that's finally being birthed. Like you have pushed through. And again, talking about that Ogun card with that force versus the powerful energy. What you're going to be coming out of this with is power, right? Do not try to force anything. Allow for it to just flow. Allow for those waters, those rivers and those waters that Oshun holds. Allow for those to flow, okay? And then it's 2-8, so that is true stability. That's true foundation. That is that's 4 4s, right? So think about that kind of stability. That kind of stability is the kind of stability that kingdoms were built off of. That's the kind of stability that whole civilizations grow from, that can stand from. So what you have been building, and I feel like, there could have been a lot of blame about you being lazy or about you not doing X, Y, and Z, because they couldn't see the fruits of your labor. They couldn't see the results. But a lot of times, most times, the most sacred, the most beautiful things, the most powerful things you don't see happening, right? You don't see that baby growing and moving and doing all of the things that they do. Now, you can get your ultrasounds and all of that, but all that comes with the, consequences as well. And it's not the same thing, right? You still have questions. You still have, this, that, and the third. So with this energy, it's like, You have put in the work, and there may have been times where only you were the one to know how much you put into this, right? Maybe it wasn't valued before because people couldn't see it. And a lot of times people have a hard time believing what they can't see with their physical eyes, but you know what you've put in. You know what it took. You know what you had to overcome. And now, because of those things, because all of those fruits of your labors are beginning to show themselves, are coming up out of the earth, are growing from the trees, are growing in your wallets and your accounts and your lives. Now that recognition, right, is being given. Remember who was who at each point, right? Because that same person that didn't believe, that didn't see, that badmouthed you, that didn't want to listen, that didn't want to hear it, will be some of those same people coming back around telling you, hey, good job. You did so good. I'm so proud of you. Can you want to do this, or let's do this over here. Let's celebrate, or do, and there'll be those same people later on reaching out to you for help, wanting you to do for them what they weren't willing to do for you. So make sure that you remember who those people are. Forgive, so you're not holding on to the anger and the bitterness that can develop when you're holding on to the emotions. But don't you dare forget, right? Tuck that little name back in the file somewhere, so if they come back around, you know it's good. All right. All right. So that is the beginning of the week. Now we have the middle of the week with the High Priestess, Warrior Prince, Gift of Spirit. We have the Hangman and the Elder. Okay. And then to give greater clarity to that, we have the Death card, Hermit, and the High Priestess also came with Judge and Jury. Okay. So I feel like this is assistance. This is help. This is something coming in that is divine. Like the divine high priestess, divine mothers coming in to lend that support, to give you that extra push, that extra door, that extra whatever it is that's needed for you to move forward, right? And I feel like, they've kind of been watching you. They've been watching how you've moved. I feel like you've been asking for assistance, asking for clarity. You've been seeking their guidance. And so now they're guiding you through, right? They're showing you right where you need to go, how you need to go, who you need to show up as when you get there, so that you know how to not only step off this, like with the Hermit, right? You're not just stepping off this boat trying to figure it out. You step off this boat like you own every bit of everything that you touch, and not in a self-absorbed kind of way, but in a way of you are confident in the steps that you're being guided in, right? You are not afraid. You're not in a space where you aren't willing or open to hear the guidance. You're like, I'm here. I'm supposed to be here. These are the footsteps I'm supposed to be walking in. This is the path that I'm supposed to be walking. This is the direction that I have been divinely ordained to walk. So now is the rest of the best days of my life, right? Because you are moving with spirit. So I feel like, and it's interesting because the high priestess, the high priestess and the judge and jury card comes right after the blame and the strength card being in reverse. And I was already talking about there being vindication, right? Well, here we go again. Something has been decided by the divine universe. And when the universe decides something, that is what it is. It doesn't matter anything else. That is what it is. That's what it's going to be. So expect to have some guided movement toward the middle of the week. You're going to know how you need to move. You're going to do that. You're going to know the right people to talk to, who you need to call. They're going to know to call you. Everything's going to come together. Trust, have faith, allow for yourself to embrace this rebirth, to embrace this period in your life where you are moving forward. And to a lot of people, it will seem hidden. It may even seem to some people like you're hiding things, but you're not. You're moving with spirit. And sometimes spirit doesn't need, nor does it want to be out in the open for everybody to see, because everybody is not deserving of that energy, nor can they hold it in the spirit and the energy that it was divinely meant for you. So trust the path, trust the direction. And if anybody needs to know about it, you'll know who those people are. If you have to question whether you should share something, if you have to question what something should be, or if you would regret saying it later if you did, those are not the people that you share this energy with, right? And for some of you, it will be for you and you only, right? Not everybody is meant, even if the people around you are not bad or, some kind of negative influence, everything is not always meant for everyone. Sometimes something comes to you because it's meant for you. And that's it. And that's okay. All right. So with this, I also pulled some additional, as I was pulling Judge and Jury, with some additional cards that came out, and I just decided to look at them, to see, what it was. And we have Cheater in reverse, Found, I Love Me, Mercury, and I Am Heartbroken. So it's somebody, somebody found out the truth, right? Somebody that they thought was a cheater, someone that had been assumed to be a cheater has been vindicated, right? The truth has been found, that this person was standing in a space where they're like, I love me. I'm taking care of me. I'm going to honor me. I'm not going to give way to these, accusations, right? And then you have, after the Mercury card, you have I Am Heartbroken. So somebody's not happy about it. Somebody's not happy about the fact that, this is what the truth actually was. They could be dealing with some things where they themselves are feeling bad or heartbroken because they misjudged you. They mistook a situation for being a particular thing. But then someone also could just be playing that, delusional role and not wanting to take responsibility for the fact that they've clearly lost, right? And it's okay. Let them be heartbroken. Let them sit where they are. You don't have to fix it, right? Let them be exactly how they are and keep moving forward. And even if this is a person who misjudged you, like we talked about somebody, people coming back around because they start to see all the efforts and this, that, and the third. Well, let them continue to see the efforts, right? But you don't have to bring this person back into your life, because if they couldn't see you when you had your crown polishing it, right? And they thought you was just not wanting to take up the road because you took the time to stop and polish your crown. Oh, let's not change up now that crown is sitting on my head. 444 and a clock, so confirmation. So, stand on that. That's what you believe. That's what you moved in. That's what you said. That's what you felt. Keep it that way. Keep moving, right? Let these people sit where they are. Because, like I said, they couldn't see you before. They're not going to truly see you later. They're just going to use you. Move accordingly. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot. With Dancer 8 and Maker 8, we have Spy and Discovery. So, again, someone's watching. Someone can see. Someone that has been wanting to keep the narrative a particular kind of way, something that was not going to really honor the truth of what it was. They're trying to see. They're trying to figure it out. And so, that could be that energy that, like with the octopus that came up, that could be that energy of, just kind of mold into the background, allow yourself to kind of seem one with the people so you can move on out of there, move how you need to move and close out this period. People, it doesn't matter where you are, when you're doing good, when you're doing well for yourself, people are always going to be there that, don't have your best interest at heart. And not that they're there like in your close circle, but, you walk down the street and I guarantee you, if you pass 10 of them, 8 of them are not going to, be able to uphold integrity if you all were to have some kind of friendship or whatever moving down the line. And it doesn't mean that those people are just bad. Sometimes it's just people's insecurities, and people's insecurities can cause them to move in some really whacked out ways, right? So that being said, be mindful of who you share things with. There's no need for you to post stuff. I know in this time is, this day and age, everything wants to be posted and recorded and all of that. And that's fine and dandy, but just be mindful, because some things are not meant for that. Some things are more sacred than that. Sometimes your movement forward should not be televised, right? Sometimes a revolution should not be televised. So let's not do that. Okay, let's make sure that we are maintaining our boundaries, that we're covering and protecting ourselves. Making sure that, throughout this week, you may want to do some spiritual cleansings and clearings, because again, there is a rebirth. At any time you have that energy, there's always the energy of death as well. So allow for that to be washed away. Allow for yourself to move into a place of cleansing and clearing, so that as you move forward into this new energy, even more than you already have, it's easier, right? You're not so attached or hung on to, or if for whatever reason there are energies that were attached to you that you were unaware of, just because of sometimes, it happens along the path and you need to release some stuff. Make sure that you're doing that, so that you're not having those kind of things interfering. Make sure that, you're mindful of your own thoughts, your own feelings, that kind of thing. So as you move forward, again, you're not being hindered by things that could try to get in the way. So now we have the end of the week. We have gift of connection, and then the Emperor card fell, but it fell like it was falling away, right? So there's some distorted masculine energy, whether we're talking about an actual man or we're talking about an actual woman. It is a distorted masculine energy that's showing up, and it's falling away, right? So this is something that's no more. It could be, whoever that judgment was against. So you have gift of connection with old money. This, to me, represented you being very connected. It almost feels like you took that next step, right? So by the end of the week, you have stepped into this new space and you feel really connected and really grounded to spirit. I almost feel like this, like you are almost in the spirit world taking these steps, right? So, but that speaks to the amount of connection and the groundedness that's present, the amount of clarity that you have, right? Like there's no one that could get in the midst of this, because the force and the energy that you're moving with is unstoppable, right? The connection, it can't be broken. There's no one that can, there is no one that could turn you against that energy, right? Whether it's from illusion, whether it's from whatever next shiny thing they got to advertise, whatever it is, right? You're solid. You're solid. You're connected to generations back, right? So the ancestors, old wealth, or just the truth that has been since the beginning of existence, right? It's like, it's like that energy. It's rock solid. Like it keeps making me think about that Ogun card again. Right. So this is protected. And it's not even something you have to worry about again. And then you also have the ancestors card that came up again. So that ancestral energy, that spirit realm energy is strong and it is heavy, because this is them moving, right? This is like them saying, okay, now you've moved yourself into position. Now watch us work. Watch us bring all of everything that's been being created together, right? They're going to add those last finishing touches on. And if you allow them to do so, it's going to be mind blowing, right? So now we have the Strength card with Maker 4, the Greedy Tree. We have Thief in reverse with Earth. Now, it's interesting because what I saw was where there had been greed, where there had been overindulgence, where there had been addictions, where there had been all of these energies usurping fertility and life force energy. You have had the strength to take back what is yours, to pull away from those energies or those things, if those were habits or things that you participated in. If these were energies, external energies having an influence on your life, you are pulling yourself away. You have pulled yourself away. You have claimed what it is that is yours, and you're no longer allowing anything to stand in your way. Okay. With Thief in reverse and that Earth card, is once again, it's like the energies, you are taking them back. You're cultivating them, right? So it's not just taking them on to hoard them. You're cultivating them. You're using them to create, to grow, to give life to new things. And this isn't just for you. This is just as much for you as it is the collective. This is as much for you as it is for your family, for your loved ones, for the generations to come. And I feel like you're going to be impacting people that you don't even realize that you're impacting. And a lot of these people you may not even meet. it may just be people who saw you move in a certain kind of way at the right time, and they needed to see that, right? So your strength is going to be recognized. Your strength is going to be seen. Whether you hear every single story about it or not, you're impacting so many people around you right now. So if you're feeling tired, as we're still in the beginning of the week, if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling a little lost or a little trying to, figure out what does this new space look like? How do I move forward? I know these things are great, but what does it really mean? If you're moving in that energy, know that you are better than okay, because you have moved into a space where you're ready to teach. You've moved into a space where you're ready to stand firm in what it is that you are here to do. Okay. Now, to end the end of the week, we have the Magician and we have the World. And the World is in reverse. With the Magician, we have fertile. And with the World in reverse, we have unexpected occurrence in reverse. And the Sloth card as well. So I feel like there are some new things cooking up, right? We were just talking about that with the Earth card. So, but there are some new things that are cooking up. There's some new things that are coming to be, that are growing. And I feel like it's because you have mastered being able to stand in both the physical and the spirit that allows you to have balance. You can perceive the messages and see with your physical eyes what's in front of you and how to move with both of those things. You have learned to balance two energies to create what would seem to be impossible, to do what would seem to be impossible. And then you have this World card in reverse, and it typically talks about, completions and that kind of thing. And I know that some, there are points where you could say, well, maybe something isn't, moving like you thought it would be. Maybe this is unfinished business or that kind of thing. But this doesn't feel like that to me. It actually feels like new beginnings, right? Versus completions. It feels like new beginnings, but these are expected. These are things that you've wanted, and maybe they've come in slowly, right? But I feel like to a certain degree, they may build slowly, or maybe they've been building slowly. The pieces have been coming together a little slowly, but I feel like it's felt slow, most especially because you have expected it, right? You have been waiting around for it or working for it for so long, and it just feels like it's taken some time. And so at the same time, as much as this is a new beginning, I don't feel like that World card is necessarily talking about the more shadow aspects of it being in reverse. I feel like it's speaking more towards, yes, something completed, but something completed and something new began, right? So, just kind of looking over these cards for this week, I feel like there's going to be some really powerful moves being made. I feel like it's important to keep them to yourself, though. I feel like what's happening here is greater than just the physical world. It's greater than just what you're looking at right now. It's greater than the perception of what any particular thing is in your life right now. It's so much bigger than that. So as you are moving forward, trust the process. Trust that you're held. Trust that you have what it is that you need, and anything you need will be available to you, right? And I feel like it'll be made to you in abundance. I feel like the universe is literally grabbing you up, holding on to you, and telling you, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Do not worry about what it is that you cannot see, because what you cannot see is for us to see. Okay. And if you trust in our word, if you trust in the connection that we have, we will bring you through to the end, and you will see this end with glory, with victory, with joy, right? But it requires patience, most especially patience with yourself, so that you can be that calming, grounding force in your life that allows for a stable foundation for the universe to give you everything that you've worked so hard for and everything that they know that you deserve. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close out the reading. I pray that you all got something from this that helps you to move forward powerfully, helps you to stand reassured in the movements that you're making, despite whatever your particular situation or reality may look like right now, whether it looks great and it's just getting better, whether it's in a space of healing and creating better and it's getting better, or whether it's on, it's on the more extreme lower end and it's getting better. One way or the other is getting better. So celebrate, be in gratitude, know that you've pushed this hard and you've done what you needed to do. Okay, I feel like this could be the end of a cycle for you, a cycle where maybe you were dealing with energies that were not, and I said I was going to close out the reading, but another message came through. So one last message. But you all could have been dealing with the situation where maybe you were in a lot of conflict over a period of time, right? Where who you really were was not being recognized. It was not being honored. It was not being seen or supported. Maybe you all were dealing with situations where people wanted you to move a particular kind of way and you were moving differently. And so maybe you were outcasted. Maybe you were put in positions where you felt really alone or by yourself. And maybe even if you weren't completely by yourself, it may have just, been some time periods where you felt alone, right? Or just, even if it's just from the emotions or the feelings of not having what's needed, not having what's necessary, even if that's just the answers, right? But know that justice has come, right? Know that you are going to have everything that you desire and that you have been dreaming for. Okay. So ground, relax, breathe, hold that vision. And when your gut tells you to move left, move left. Okay. So with that, I'm going to close out the reading. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing to my page. If there are any messages that you got that you want to put into the comment section, I'd love to hear it. And until next week, bye. Have a wonderful week.